Okay, so mission for tonight is water change again. I changed the water last night because after a lot of talk on Facebook with some people at Aquatic Sport Community, my nitrates should be 40 or under, 20 or under really. And I think they're around 80, but see the problem that I have, which I'm sure other beginning, of course, just stick with the beginning to be realistic, is the nitrate test, right? So what is that? You know, you put it next to the red, to the deal, and everything looks red. So I just did a water change last night, and I know the nitrates aren't super high. Sorry I suck at this, but so you guys tell me what that is. You know, it changes in the light, so I'm thinking 40, maybe 80, maybe 160, what do I know, but to get it down to 20 or less is like, whew. But I'm gonna keep doing it every night. I changed 30% last night, I've changed 30% today, I'm gonna change 30% tomorrow until I get it to 20, and then I'll find out what it takes to keep it there. You know, I've had these fish for a long time, and well, you know, a long time. The little one 6 months, and the big one actually 6 months. So the Oscars I've had for a couple years, and they're all healthy. There's no hole in the head, no ick, no bloat, no none of that stuff. So I think my nitrates have been around 160 to 80 for quite a long time, and hasn't done any damage. But you know, I'm just trying to learn. So I'm gonna put this on the YouTube channel, and if anybody's watching, you know, tell me how to read this thing more accurately, because it looks, you know, if you're looking at it here, you know, is it a certain shade of red, or is the colors on the chart here, you know, how are they to be determined? You know, if I hold the vial up to the light, which you're not going to be able to see it in the video, maybe over here, it's orange, you know, but then if you put it down here, I mean, it's pretty red, you know. So anyways, any advice would be much appreciated. I'm trying to improve what I'm doing, and you know, I don't know, comment, anything like that would be awesome. So it is Tuesday night. Monday night I changed 30%. Today I'm changing 30%. Tomorrow I'll change 30% and see how much it takes for me to get down under 20, and then how often I have to do it to hold it there. And you know, in this tank I have a big arowana, small arowana, 3 peacock bass, 2 probably 12-inch Oscars in the back, 2 Plecostomus about this size, which are probably 8 inches, 2 loaches that are like 2 inches, and then 1 little green phantom Plecostomus running around in here somewhere. So I guess we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fish in here. But it is 240 gallons. And I do have a 100-gallon sump that's probably halfway full of water in there at all times. And so let's just say 300 gallons. I try not to feed any more than I should. So again, any advice would be appreciated. I might as well get a picture of the sump here. So I got 2 socks that come in, right? And the socks come in off the returns from the drains from the tank, excuse me. And the drains are 1.5-inch drains, right? So I have one that drains off of the top of the tank here, and it's on an adjustable little swing arm. You can see I can raise or lower the depth of the tank right there. And then on the other side of the tank, there is a drain that I've rigged to suck off the bottom. Now it comes in the same hole as the other one, but what I did is I put a T fitting on there, so the top is open, so it's not, I don't know how to explain this, I guess it's not a siphon, but that top is open because if I had it closed and the power went out, it would siphon all the way down to the bottom and overflow the sump. So this way it can only siphon to this point here, you know, right here where the water level ends, just like the other one. So if the power goes out, it can only go this low or as low as the returns are. But on the returns I have a one-way check valve, so I solved that problem by putting that check valve in there, so the returns can't go backwards. So when the power shuts off, the sump will fill up, you know, 7/8 of the way full, but it won't overflow. So anyways, I got the the 2 drains at 1.5 inches going into the sump, into the socks, through the sump, and when it comes out the other end, it goes through a 1.5 inch line that comes out of the reflow snapper that I got. So that's 1.5 inches. An 1.5 inches? I think it's 2 inch. Then the 2 inch goes into a 1 inch line. You can see right there, and the 1 inch splits into 3. So it's a 3 inch return. It's 3 1 inch returns and 2 1.5 inch drains, which equate to each other. And the system runs pretty good. So to look in the sump here, it goes through the socks, and underneath the socks are ceramic rings. I got 5 pounds. I got 5 2-pound bags, so 10 pounds of ceramic rings. It's kind of hard to see, but there's 5 of those bags in there. They're like these kind of bags, which this one's half empty because I took some out and put it in my other tank, but I want to say it's 5 2-pound bags, so it would be 10 pounds of bio rings. Then it goes underneath and through a 2-inch gap that's full of pond filter, the blue pond filter, and then the pond goes through up over the pond filter, then across here to a drip tray. Then I got 3 cubic feet of bio balls, some egg crates so they're not sitting on the bottom, and then it runs underneath here and through another, this is like a 4-inch gap full of bio sponge, I believe it is. And then so it comes up through the bio sponge, then through a bunch of holes I drilled at the height that I wanted for the refugium. Then I have like a dozen Anubias plants in here growing, and some moss balls, and a box full of vines, and some of my grandma's ivy. And then it goes through the holes at the same height on the other side to there's like a 4-inch gap there, and it goes go through one more set of sponges. Then out the bottom there's 2 big squares cut out to the bottom, so it's forced through the sponges one last time. And then in this end I have the heaters set up, and I have an 800 watt heater, and then as a backup a 400 watt heater in case the 800 can't carry it, but the 800's always pretty much carried it. Then it goes through the snapper and back into the tank. Yeah, so I don't know how I got all sidetracked with that, but I'm just putting stuff on there so people can see what I'm doing and help me improve. I by no means am an expert, but I'm open to any constructive criticism. In my tank, my readings are, I'm gonna go by my chart here. My pH stays around 7. The tap water that comes in is 7.6, and the RODI machine that I got set up right here, the water comes out of here at about 6.4. So I do about 75% of the RO water and 25% 75% RO, 25% tap water. And what I do is I fill this thing full of RO water, then I let about 25% of it pump in the tank, then I fill it with hot water to bring the temperature up, because the water here is about 50 degrees in this bucket, and then the hot water comes out, I don't know, but I get it up around 80 to 82 degrees before it goes in the tank. And then the combination between the tap water and the RO water, it comes out at about 7. I'm shooting for about 7 or 6.8 pH, which is nice. Once it's in the tank and the tank settled, my pH is running around 7 or 6.8. Which I think is not focusing. My ammonia is obviously, my ammonia stays at 0, nitrite stays at 0, and my nitrates are running, I guess, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say 80 to 80 or more. But I guess the idea is to get those down around 20 and keep it there. So do as many water changes as I need to do based on my stocking level and how much I feed to keep it at 20 or less is ideal. So that is the mission we are on, and hopefully I update this video with some proof that what I'm doing is working right, and I don't kill off the beneficial bacteria, which is kind of my concern with doing so many water changes. And hopefully we can make some improvements and and I assume that will, the super clean water will be fish that grow faster, have less sickness, brighter colors, maybe some spawning behavior. But you know, this is the hodgepodge stuff I've been able to put together, and I would like anybody with experience or not just to give me your 2 cents on what you think. I recently discovered YouTube and the Facebook groups, and so it's like going from being a hobbyist with no one around for the last couple of years to every hobbyist in the world being able to see what I'm doing and give me their ideas. So if you're watching, thanks for doing that, and I look forward to any comments. And again, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just going to keep putting videos up there. What the heck? People don't watch? If they do, awesome. And I'm watching a lot of guys on that are awesome, which I just like to shout out for other guys that stumble across this. Michael Mann stuff is sweet. Brian Dahlberg stuff is awesome. John Connolly stuff is awesome. You know, I came across Michael Mann, and he was kind enough to respond to my stuff and really direct me into aquatic support community on Facebook, which is awesome. I'm making a lot of friends there and getting a lot of good info. And I want to say for a minute too, it's awesome to be privy to this information, because before this, my sources of information were the employees at PetSmart, which, you know, I learned I might as well go ask the people at McDonald's about fish tank keeping, and the guys at my local fish store, which really aren't much more qualified. And I found out their aim is to sell me stuff like crushed coral, which costs top dollar for fish that are not, that is not appropriate for. So, you know, I have a lot of mistrust as far as, and so I don't know, limited abilities, limited resources for information. So these new places that I found, like Aquatic Support Community, and guys like Mike and Brian and John on YouTube channels, and Sean Armentrout's awesome. You know, those guys are just, I'm like so pumped about my aquarium hobby recently because of these guys. And yeah, if I'd have known this, I probably would have learned a lot more early on, but I'm pumped to be able to learn it now. And I'll be slapping videos on there, and hopefully these guys are watching and will grace me with their mass amounts of experience and knowledge, and kind of take me under their wing, I hope. And you know, I can, where I live in the Antelope Valley in Southern California, I can be the go-to fish guy around here for some of my buddies. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll put some more stuff up later on.